Daniel's Music Foundation.
DMF Common Chords, a series that pairs musicians from diverse backgrounds to share their musical gifts with all. We'll introduce you to new artists and use the power of music to build a bridge between musicians of all abilities. Hello and welcome back to DMF Common Chords. I'm your host, Juliana. On this episode, we will hear from two brand new, amazingly talented musicians, Andrew Bambridge and Iain Forrest, also known as Eyeglasses. Hello, Andrew and Iain, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well.
That's great to hear. How are you doing, Iain?
Hi, Juliana. I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you both for agreeing to appear on Common Chords. I can't wait to hear more of your music.
Looking forward to hearing it, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Awesome. Well, let's get started with a little bit of background on our first amazingly talented artist. Andrew Bambridge, a percussionist, is in his first year at Rutgers University pursuing a Master of Music degree with a concentration in performance. In May, he received his Bachelor of Music from Rutgers with a double concentration in performance and composition. Andrew is also a graduate of the Juilliard School's pre-college division and is a winner of the Very Special Arts Foundation's 30th Annual International Young Soloist Competition. Andrew, who has achondroplastic dwarfism, is a member of the Can-Do Musos Foundation and has volunteered to perform at events hosted by Ronald McDonald House Charities and the Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation. So Andrew, tell us a little bit about how your musical journey began. Did you start as a percussionist?
No, so I first was introduced to playing music on piano. My brother played piano. He's older than me, and I would watch him during his piano lessons. And so then I asked my mom if I could do the same. She was a little worried about the size of my hands, but eventually I got started. And after that, I wanted to try violin, but unfortunately, I couldn't start on the normal A-size violin that children start on, and so I got this 16th size violin, which did not sound very good. So I got kind of discouraged to play violin. I tried clarinet when I was in 4th grade, but I was having trouble reaching the bottom of the instrument. And so I kind of just kept trying instruments. Cornet, which is a version of a trumpet, I was pretty successful at. But marimba, our middle school had this small Ross 3-octave marimba that I love to play. I started playing percussion in 6th grade, and that instrument always drew me. I would play it during drama club rehearsals, band rehearsals before we got started, and my passion for marimba and then later percussion grew from that.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm so glad that you stuck with it. That must have taken a lot of determination.
Yeah. I mean, it was determination, but also just I really liked it. I really liked the physicality of playing the instrument as well as the sound. And so that's what kept me going.
That's awesome. So I noticed in your introduction video, when you play the marimba, you've done something really innovative and you've created your own adaptive setup. Can you describe it for us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to play a marimba, I'm actually standing on one right now. I have a platform that consists of a long wooden board and Gold's Gym platforms. So it's workout platforms on either end as kind of posts. And then for various other percussion instruments like bass drum, I'll stand on a Gold's Gym platform. For timpani, I'll stand on a Gold's Gym platform as well. So any instrument where I need to be raised, I'll have a stool or something like this platform ready on hand.
Wow, I think that's so creative, and I love that you came up with something that could help you out with that. I think that's brilliant. So playing music is not your only calling. Another passion of yours is composing. Is that right?
Yeah.
And what do you love to compose?
So I've gone through like I guess many phases during my undergrad. I really like to like compose like film kind of style, like orchestral tracks when I was like early on in my education, and then after that, I kind of really got into chamber music,
I love
and
chamber music.
yeah, and then now I'm like really into like songwriting, which I've kind of done in the past as well. Actually, the first thing I ever wrote was a song that I would play and sing on piano. But now I'm getting more back into that.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait for everyone to hear you. Can you tell us a little bit about the first two pieces that you're going to play for us?
Yeah, so the first piece I'm going to be playing is the first movement of Robert Aldridge's "From My Little Island." It's a long piece for solo marimba, and I played it this past year in school, and it's one of my favorite pieces. The journey it takes you on for the entire 20 minutes is amazing, and so that first theme is what I'm gonna play, and then the piece after that is an arrangement I made of "Can't Help Falling in Love," which was made popular by Elvis Presley, and I love the sound of it on the marimba, and so I'm gonna play for that for you all today as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I absolutely love that song. I'm going to give you a second to go get in position. And I look forward to hearing it. So I just want to let everyone know I have had the pleasure of hearing this gentleman perform, and I think you are in for a real treat. Andrew, that was an absolutely fantastic performance. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it because I very rarely get to hear and experience somebody playing the marimba. It's such a unique instrument.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for allowing me to share with you all today. Yeah, I remember it's been gaining like popularity. I think like a little bit in the past couple of years, but I hope more people get the chance to like really hear marimba, watch marimba being played live because it's such a fantastic instrument, and um and I really like it. I really like it.
No, absolutely. And I think by you doing this for us, more people will get to experience it. So thank you. So I'm going to give you a chance to take a rest, and we're going to give you a little bit more information on our next brilliant artist. Based in New York City, Iain S. Forrest, a.k.a. Eyeglasses, is a singer-songwriter and classically trained cellist who performs breathtaking covers of popular music for electric cello at weddings, restaurants, parties, concerts, and impromptu street and subway performances. Eyeglasses originally started in 2013 when the then high schooler took to the streets of cities across the DC metropolitan area performing contemporary songs for cello. Iain is also now a medical student at Mount Sinai in New York City and performs for patients and their families in the hospital to uplift their spirits. So Iain, you're one of many med students in New York, but you're probably the only one who brings a cello to work with him. Why is that?
Yeah, well, as a medical student, my role is to alleviate the suffering of patients who I encounter. And obviously, I can do that through medicine to help their physical well-being. But I think just as important is I find that music allows me to also help their mental and emotional well-being, just as important. And we all know, being in a hospital is tough. I see many patients in oncology and palliative care, those with terminal conditions, and it can be really isolating and depressing. So, bringing music performances, I feel, can help them escape the confines of that hospital room that they're stuck in. And it really can help bring a smile to their faces and their families' faces as well. So, I absolutely enjoy doing that. And I'm going to keep on doing that for the duration of my medical school.
That's awesome. I'm so happy that you do. I know how much joy music brings me, and I'm sure your patients are very, very grateful for that. How would you describe your musical style, and how has it evolved from your classical training?
Yeah, so it's a little bit unique in that I describe it as a crossover between pop, rock, electronic music, as well as classical music. So, as you mentioned, I started playing cello back in fourth grade. I was classically trained by a great teacher, and it really did two things, I think, for my music evolution, as you called it. So, first, it pushed me to work pretty hard. It gave me a technical foundation for the music that I perform today. As a kid, it would be 4 hours spent just practicing scales, exercises, instead of going to the movies on a Friday. So now I can take all of those things I've learned and use them as ad libs and runs that I do in my performances. And also, whenever young fans come up to me with their parents after I perform and they ask me for advice on how to find some success in music, I tell them, listen to your parents. When they tell you to go practice and work hard, it really does make a big difference. So the parents always love to hear that too.
I'm sure. I bet they do. In an effort to reach as many people as possible, you have literally made the city your stage. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, I absolutely love New York City. One of the biggest draws for me moving to New York City was just the diversity of the people, the cultures, and the talent that's really jam packed onto this island. So, sure, you can watch a world class performance at Carnegie Hall, Radio City Music Hall, but you can find equally captivating artists in the most random spots of the city. And that's what really inspired me to audition for an organization called Music Under New York, MUNI, a group that organizes performances at subway stations across New York City. So, Grand Central, Times Square. And I love playing at these places because tourists will come to these. And I remember one time a young tourist from Germany once said, there's no better way to be welcomed to the Big Apple and to the United States than hearing that inviting sound of a cello. So that's why I absolutely love playing in the city, and I'm going to continue performing in the city too.
That's awesome. And I have to ask, do you have a special place in the city, like a place that is your favorite to perform in?
Yeah, that's a tough one. And I think it would be tied between two places. One is 34th Street, Herald Square, which is right jam packed in Midtown New York City. A lot of movement, a lot of bustling tourists, commuters, always chaos in there. But what I find amidst all that chaos is you can create a little bit of order in giving a music performance. And, people that have had a bad day at work, people that are rushing and stressed out, they can just stop for those 3 minutes, listen to the music, and then kind of let their stresses disappear in the background. So I always enjoy performing in that kind of hectic environment of 34th Street.
Yeah, I bet that is so cool. It's such a hectic environment, and all of a sudden people just stop and listen. That must be so cool to experience. And
Exactly.
What's your second favorite?
Yeah, and I think my second favorite is on the other end of the spectrum. I love performing in Central Park. And, it's such a huge expanse of just open spaces and people can just relax and enjoy themselves. So sometimes I'll just go out there, usually by the Central Park Zoo. And if it's a beautiful day and people are out with their kids, just having a good time and just being able to, for me, to just relax and also de-stress out in the park, I absolutely enjoy that too.
Oh, that's great. And Central Park is such an iconic place in New York City. So can you tell us a little bit about what you will be performing for Common Chords?
Yeah, so I'm so excited to be performing for you all today. I'm going to be giving a number of song performances, and they are everything from covers of your favorite pop songs to rock songs. And we have different artists that I love to perform. Shawn Mendes, we got Justin Bieber, and we got Louis Capaldi. So I hope you all enjoy.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to give you a second to go get in position. I've been fortunate enough to hear Iain perform before, and he is such a beautiful performer. I think you're really going to enjoy this.
Alright, so to kick things off, my first song I'm going to play is a cover of two different songs by Shawn Mendes, Stitches mashed up with Treat You Better. Hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, the next song we're going to do is a little bit different. It's a bit slower, a bit more romantic, and a bit more emotional. This is a mashup of a song called Before You Go by Lewis Capaldi with Perfect by Ed Sheeran.
Iain, thank you. That was such a breathtaking performance.
Of course, it's my pleasure to perform for you all.
Well, it was wonderful. I noticed something really cool. You play the cello with your bow, but you also use your fingers, and there were times when you were actually knocking on the wood. That was so cool to experience.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a bit of an unorthodox way of playing the instrument, but that's what I really enjoy about the cello is it's such a unique and versatile instrument. So, as you mentioned, I can play it with a bow, or I can play it almost like it's a pair of drums with different percussion, or I can start to use my fingers and pluck at the strings, what we call pizzicato, as if I'm playing the guitar. So I really love to combine and integrate all these different types of sounds from the cello.
Well, thank you for doing that, because that was the first. I've never had the experience of seeing somebody actually knock on the cello, so really appreciate that. So we're going to bring Andrew back up, and we're going to give everyone a chance to get to know you both just a little bit better. So I find that everybody has a story about how they became connected with Daniel's Music Foundation. Iain, can you tell us your story?
Yeah, so it must have been just over a year or two ago. So I perform at subway stations across New York, as we talked about. And Renee Plesner, who's a really good friend and supporter of DMF, he actually stumbled across me at 72nd Street subway station. And, he instantly thought, okay, this would be a really great partnership. So he showed Ken and Daniel my videos on YouTube, and next thing you know, I was invited to give a concert at DMF as part of the Underground series. And, I love the spirit, the optimism at DMF. Everybody had their own stories, their different backgrounds, but when I was able to perform for them, we immediately felt like we're connected and we were together as one. So really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail right on the head. You really connected with everyone that night, and I remember that performance at the Underground at our music center, and everyone just had the most wonderful time. They were raving about it for weeks to come. So thank you. And Andrew, what's your story? How did you become connected with DMF?
Yeah, so I was on your mailing list, and and I heard about the virtual cafe hour, and I was
Yes,
like,
the open mic, our virtual open mic.
yeah, and I asked if I could play for you all during that, and so I played for you all a couple weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun. Not only because I got to share with you all, but I got to hear from all the performers that night, which was really a special night.
Yeah, the virtual open mics are really one of our most special events. But I can remember your performance, and it spoke to me, and my immediate thought was, I gotta see if this guy will perform on Common Chords. So I'm so glad that I caught that performance and that you agreed to be here with us. I would love to give everyone a chance to hear you guys play one final song. Would that be okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
So Andrew, what are we going to hear from you?
So this last song is a song I wrote with Margaret True. She's a poet based in Oregon, and we wrote this song together like a year or so ago, and I adapted it for voice and marimba.
And we're going to do something kind of special with this. You have actually pre-recorded yourself singing, and we're going to play it along up in the right-hand corner of your video while you play along to it on the marimba. So I'm going to let you go get in position. And Iain, can you tell us a little bit about the last piece we're going to hear from you?
So this final song is a little bit different, and I always love ending on it because it has so much energy and it's very upbeat and gets people feeling in a good mood. And this song is a little different because the lyrics are mainly in Spanish. So for everybody out there that speaks Spanish, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And this song blew up about 2 years ago on the radio. Couldn't stop hearing it. And this is a song called Despacito by Justin Bieber and Luis Fonsi.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to let you go get in position. And I want to let everyone know that after the final performances, we like to do something where we pull up both of our artists and we allow them to comment on each other's work. So stay tuned.
When the sky turns from blue to red and life feels like it can take a breath, it's in this moment I think of you, but every small fragment shows through. Although time keeps moving forward, I often wonder where it's moving towards. I guess we're all just chords to a song we never heard before. Crumb-sized in a galaxy so vast, moving so fast, wanting moments to last, knowing another day will come, and the night will wake the sun. Where are you now? Do you look up and see only clouds, or do you see the same blues and reds? Do thoughts of me enter your head? You were so hard to find, truly one of a kind. But I suppose our record was out of tune. You were the sun, and I was the moon. Crumb-sized in a galaxy so vast, moving so fast, wanting moments to last, knowing another day will come, and the night will wake. Oh, the night will wake. Yes, the night will wake the sun. Crumb-sized in a galaxy so vast, wanting moments to last, knowing another day will come, and the night will wake the sun. I guess we're all just chords to a song we never heard before. Crumb-sized in a galaxy so vast, moving so fast, wanting moments to last. Knowing another day will come, another day will surely come,
Gentlemen, those performances were absolutely terrific. I literally have goosebumps right now.
Glad you liked it.
Oh,
Thanks so much,
absolutely.
Juliana.
I lost myself in the music for a little while. It was tremendous. So now we're to my favorite time in the episode. I'm actually going to let you guys comment on each other's work.
Yeah. Well, first I want to say, man, as someone who stayed in the hospital quite a bit as a kid, I really appreciate you doing that for all the patients. Playing music, anything that took me out of like into the real world of any kind, like in any sort of way, was very very just it felt really good to have that, so I appreciate that, man.
I'm glad to hear that. No, it's because of, people like you that I keep doing what I do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been a big Louis Capaldi fan actually this kind of like past couple months, and so I loved your cover of that mixed with Ed Sheeran. That was awesome, man.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's such a phenomenal artist, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
What's your like favorite song by him?
Someone You Loved. I was listening to someone listen to. I was like it kind of shook me when I first heard about what this song was about. It was like it's about his mother, about losing his mother. And I was like, I wasn't expecting that when I first listened to it, but it makes like it kind of it made me appreciate the song in a different way.
Definitely. I feel like, the emotional impact of his music is one of the reasons why people are so drawn to it. And actually that's actually one of the reasons why I really appreciate and really enjoyed, your music too, because I mean, just obviously on a technical level, just what you're doing with all these different musical parts, the fast runs and rhythms that you do so well, I was floored by that. But also on an emotional level, to hear kind of the way you convey that story that you're telling, right? And sharing your emotions through your performance, that really connected with me, and I'm sure with a lot of other people in a special way. And that last song, some of those lyrics, they definitely cut deep. Like, I think there was one line where you mentioned all chords, were all just chords to the songs that we may have never heard before. And that really lifted me up and put a smile on my face. So I think never stop doing what you're doing with that, because the storytelling and the emotional expression that you have is just phenomenal.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Margaret Drew, who wrote the lyrics. I remember like first reading them. It was just like the song kind of wrote itself after that. Like after just reading her lyrics, it was kind of everything I need, everything I felt I wanted to write was just like came naturally from reading those lyrics.
No, it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I mean, I don't know how you do it on the technical side of things. How do you keep track of, what's going on the left hand and what's going on the right hand with the bass, the melody, the harmony? I mean, that's so much to me. I don't know how you do all of that.
It's a lot of kind of just a lot of practice, as you said. Everyone should listen to their parents because practicing really allows you to do everything you wanted in music. I think it's all about the practicing first.
Exactly.
Thank you both for sharing your musical gifts. Andrew, can you tell us where we can hear more of your music?
Yeah, so you can go to my website, www.andrewbambridge.com. I have some of my original pieces up there. And then also to my YouTube channel. You can find me on YouTube, Andrew Bambridge, where I've posted some videos as well.
Well, thank you. I will definitely be checking that out, and I know many of our viewers will too. Iain, where can we hear more of your music?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, and you guys can hear more of my music by looking up Eyeglasses Music or Eyeglasses String Music on all the major social media platforms. We got Instagram, we got Facebook, YouTube, and also you can stream all the music as well on Apple Music and Spotify.
All right, well, I will definitely be checking those out. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with us, and we look forward to hearing more amazing music from both of you in the future. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this. It was absolutely beautiful. Join us next time as we hear from two brand new artists. Every musician is as distinctive as their music, and as unique as the effect that music has on those who experience it. We celebrate our differences and are excited to create this unified, creative, and distinct space where open minds and open hearts can always strike a common chord. On behalf of Daniel's Music Foundation, I thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to being with you again real soon.